Today, my friends, we're looking at a delightful value proposition, which is a carbon watch made for budget by a respectable brand. This is the Casio Edifice Automatic in forged carbon. We all know Edifice did it. They made a totally new integrated bracelet design with a carbon dial and an automatic movement. Fact. Initially, when I've seen the release, I wasn't sure how good it is, but people got really hyped, and in general I appreciate Edifice. I think they make exceptional quartz watches and make unique designs. So initially I was wondering if they should remain exclusively in quartz. At some point it was quite a nice ratio offered by Edifice. Sapphire crystal, 100 meters war resistance, cool designs, generally good finishing for below $130. As an example, I always appreciated the EFR model, the way it was built, how thin and robust it is, and how inexpensive it is. Now at $300–400, it's a different game with a different competition. But on the other hand, we'll have to acknowledge that the automatic movements are becoming so cheap to be produced that it's kind of pointless to offer quartz watches in the future. Basically, Casio started to extend their antennas and combine their already iconic principles with trending capabilities like vibrant dials, integrated bracelets, usage of carbon, automatic movements, and so on. Looking obviously at the storytelling and the vibrant dials of Grand Seiko, but also at the value proposition of Citizen with the Zenshin or the Toyosa models, or maybe the popular PRX. As I said, people got super hyped about it, announcing it that there is still room in the affordable area for the automatic Edifice future lineups. Actually, I'm pretty sure this automatic Edifice aims to compete with these three mentioned above. So why is this version more valuable than the stainless steel models? I guess you already know. I strongly believe, as I tried and collected, that carbon watches have their own unique feeling which never disappoints. Forged carbon is a nice material to enrich the design of a watch. It makes it lightweight, it makes it more durable and feels warmer and way more friendly than stainless steel, offering also a high-tech vibe to the product. And I also think these core values are way more appealing when the price point of such a watch is so low at $400. When collecting niched or 360 degrees, no matter how much money you put in your collection, such an affordable watch can coexist. Due to its high-tech vibe, but also through its finishing, as I remember everyone that modern machining are bringing affordable watches nearly to perfection. Basically, when you put the macro lens on the dials, the finishing is almost perfect. So I see this carbon Edifice Automatic as being posh enough to sit in any collection. I'm not sure when this carbon model was launched, but when I've seen it live on a Splendor store, I was like, I have to have it. I was more than impressed with the quality level, so I had to take one for review, as I see this way more valuable than the stainless steel model. This new EFK carbon model can be also considered as a competition for the carbon PRX. They share the same principles: carbon design, carbon dial, integrated bracelet with rubber. They both have a stealth appearance. The difference is that the markers and the hands of the Edifice are finished in a gunmetal tone, where Tissot kept the markers and the hands in steel, creating quite a confusing layout having a carbon foreground. Now, if we look closely at the case, we can spot a not so common combination between steel, carbon, and rubber. Honestly, I would have preferred a carbon bezel instead of the polished PVD one. I'm pretty sure it should be resistant enough to scratches, but in a way it kind of provides a nice play between polished and matted surfaces, a rhythm of finishing which can be also found on the dial. Same happening for the case itself. We have a transition from the sapphire crystal to the polished bezel, and then the carbon which transitions to a metallic brushed link with a polished accent towards the rubber strap. The strap is good, feels durable, it's not an FKM, neither silicone. It is long lasting and most likely adjustable, because if we look at the length of the top part, it almost hugs the bottom part of the case, but it has adjustable increments underneath to be trimmed. I like the idea of offering a clasp. I think it makes the watch to look more special and premium. With this edition, it kinda complements the watch hood. In depth, the dial looks premium. It doesn't look like a $400 watch, more like a $4,000 watch, as I haven't spotted any imperfections or mistakes. But more than that, the finishing level of the markers and the hands is brilliantly made just to understand how the modern machining can transpose budget dials into luxurious ones without the necessity of a human being. There is a nice creamy forged carbon dial, which is highlighted as the star of the show because they preferred to suspend basically the markers which are sitting on the intermediary chapter ring. The markers are nicely finished with highly polished markers on the side facets with a nice brushing facet on top. These tiny accents matter on a wrist roll because it elevates the preciousness of the watch. The hands are made based on the same principles, some futuristic pencil hands which are skeletonized in the middle, polished on the sides with loomed areas towards the top. Again, they look very well finished, having as well the same brushing rhythm on the top facets. The loom is present on the hands exclusively. Normally I'm a big fan of loom, but I'm not sure if I would have enjoyed the watch that much if the markers would have been also loomed. I kinda love that Grand Seiko finishing of the faceted markers. Overall, I love the high-tech dial of the watch with those skeletonized hands and those suspended markers which are exposing the dial pattern, balancing also the simplicity of the discrete date window at 6 o'clock, plus the Edifice logo which is kind of balanced with the automatic label from the bottom. Alright, as specs we have a forged carbon outer case with a carbon dial measuring 40mm in diameter, has 47mm as lug tip to lug tip, 12.5mm in height and weighs 87 grams due to its carbon case. We have a sapphire crystal, 10 bars waterproofness, a rubber strap combo with a clasp, and if we flip the watch we have an open case back unveiling the automatic caliber made by Casio for its Edifice EFK-100 series. It is based on the well-known and reliable Seiko NH35A, a movement which sometimes is referred as the 4R35 in its non-Seiko branded form, having the same specs of 40 hours power reserve, 21,600 vibrations per hour and 24 joules. This is an entry-level movement, but for the price range, honestly I can't complain. As retail, this is priced around $400, a tad more expensive than the stainless steel version, but it offers a totally different vibe. As sizing and wearability, it looks very well on the wrist, it feels compact. I like the dial sizing and the case appearance compared to the Tissot PRX for example. This one feels better tailored for a 17cm wrist. It is lightweight due to its carbon construction and the curved lugs, and it can become comfortable if the strap is adjusted properly. As conclusions, I love the watch. I love that a respectable brand has the eyes to play in the automatic movements range for a budget, but I also appreciate the courage to come up with these carbon dials and cases. This, in my opinion, qualifies it as a good value for the money asked, especially for the fact that the holidays are coming up and discounts might pop for this model. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'm really curious to know what do you think about this Edifice automatic carbon model. Please let me know in the comments below. And as usual, if you're new around, please consider subscribing for future episodes. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. And until next time, be brave and stay safe, man.